That's been active since 10 this morning in the Dogwood Lakes area. As far as the victims, no word on their identities. Police are still notifying their families. We do know that the victims are all adults. Hampton police say right now they're investigating 4 different crime scenes. Longmore is wanted for murder, and police are trying to figure out a motive here. Multiple law enforcement agencies are still looking for him and widening the search. Longmore could be driving a black 2017 GMC Arcadia that doesn't belong to him. And the sheriff's office says it's all hands on deck until he's caught.
Unfortunately, doing these type of senseless crimes, I'm going to set us directly to you, Mr. Longmore. Wherever you are, we will hunt you down in any hole that you may be residing in and bring you to custody. Period.
There are 4 active arrest warrants for Longmore, and there's also a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to his arrest. Live in Hampton, Teresa Bowles, 11Alive News.
One more look at the suspect again, Andre Longmore. Authorities in Henry County looking for him, wanted for murder. If you see him, you are asked to call 911. The search is on now for a black 2017 GMC Acadia. As Teresa mentioned, the Georgia tag number is DHF 756. More on this story tonight at 11 p.m. This breaking story within the last few hours. Stay connected to all the updates. The 11Alive News app provides all the information for you. You can get it right now by scanning the QR code that you see there on your screen. On to the weather, a very hot day, and the beat goes on. Meteorologist Nicole Hartford with a look of what we are in the midst of, and I see a very clear radar from you, so the heat is going nowhere right now.
Yeah, we're not really getting any relief from the heat. In fact, we are cranking it up in the coming days. It's going to get a little bit worse as we move into this upcoming week. Now, there have been a couple locations where we picked up on some rainfall out towards Athens, a few isolated showers and storms out towards that way, but most of these are already out of our area and moving even further east. There are a couple spotty showers surrounding the Eatonton area, and we're still going to be on the lookout for some additional development throughout the next few hours, but rain chances are pretty low. We're talking about 20% through the remainder of the evening. For those showers and storms that do develop, there is the low end chance for a strong or even severe storm. These storms have already been producing some very frequent lightning as well as heavy rainfall, and we could also see some that bring gusty winds. Again, low threat for severe weather, mainly across our northern counties. That really splits the metro area in half, essentially north of I-20. That's where we have that level 1 risk for severe weather. This is what most of us are seeing, though. This is in Athens. We were watching a few of the isolated storms that moved through there, but now just cloud cover. Temperatures are also hot. We're at 90 degrees currently, and as you can imagine, we're not cooling down all that quickly into the overnight hours. We're still going to be around 80 degrees by midnight, and overnight low temperatures by tomorrow morning, low to even mid 70s. But some drier air is on the horizon, and while that won't help out our air temperatures, it may make it a little bit more comfortable. I'll have the details coming up.
All right, Nicole, thank you. Now to a developing story out of Alabama. This is what it looked like today along I-459 in Birmingham's suburb of Hoover. Police cars lined up on the side of the road. It was here where authorities believe 25-year-old Carly Nicole Russell is believed to have gone missing. This case may have Atlanta ties, as family members tell 11Alive her parents drove up last night but are now back home in Alabama. We get the very latest from reporter Patsy Douglas with the NBC affiliate in Birmingham.
This is where Carly was last seen, here on I-459 near John Hawkins Parkway in Hoover. On Thursday evening, police say Carly called 911 saying a toddler was walking down the side of the interstate. After calling police, she stopped to get the child and called a family member. When police arrived, they found her car and belongings nearby, but no sign of her or the child. Family members now on the search for Carly. Her parents desperate for her return.
To keep applying the pressure to keep this thing going. We really want this to blow up. We want the word of the day to be Carly. We just want to have her back home safe.
Now, law enforcement, local organizations, and Anaya Blanchard's mom, Angela Harris, also helping out with this search.
As soon as I woke up this morning and saw the Facebook post, I immediately reached out to the family and to friends. Like, how can I help? And knowing that this situation is very serious and knowing what this family's going through, I just came immediately.
Police say that Carly was last seen wearing a black shirt, black pants, and white Nike shoes. Her parents said her hair is in tight braids. Tonight, a $25,000 reward is being offered for any information. Other headlines we're tracking on this Saturday night. Police investigating an overnight shooting in southwest Atlanta inside of a parking lot. It was around 1:30 this morning along Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. One person was found by officers with a gunshot wound in the stomach. Early findings show a dispute led to the gunfire. The victim was taken to Grady and the condition has now been stabilized. This morning there was a disturbance at a Central Georgia penitentiary. This was at the Pulaski State Prison. The Department of Corrections is calling what happened a disturbance. 12 inmates involved destroying state property. There were a few minor injuries reported and they were treated at the prison, that being the inmates. No one on staff was injured. Happening today, a tribute to a Covington officer wounded in the line of duty. Rashad Rivers' life changed for all times on May 23rd when he was shot in the face while answering a call. Since then, he has been on the road to recovery, and today it took him to a softball diamond. 11Alive's Erica Murphy has our story tonight from Oxford in Newton County.
I feel pretty good. I'm about 75–80%, but for the first 2 or 3 weeks, my jaw was wired shut. Then they took the wires out and put bands, and then for the last 2 weeks, I've been metal-free.
Rashad Rivers spent Saturday trying to stay cool. The Covington police officer was in Oxford hanging out with friends for a little softball and a show of support.
It feels pretty good to know that as much work that I put into the community, they're willing to match that and give it to us back in support.
It was a different scene for Rivers back in May. He responded to a hotel on Alcovey Road in Covington for a domestic disturbance call when a suspect shot Rivers in the face. Rivers spent several days recovering at Atlanta's Grady Hospital and got a hero salute as he left.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. We're going home.
Saturday's softball tournament at the Stone Road Softball Complex in Oxford was part of that rehab, but it's not a first for Covington police. Matt Cooper was also shot in the line of duty 4 years ago. Organizers held the same tournament for him. Even now, Cooper says he's still on the mend.
I just learned how to walk again, talk, and I was supposed to be in a wheelchair the rest of my life, but yet, thanks to the good Lord, I've been able to surpass that. I'm back home, my hometown.
The tournament brought several teams out to the Diamond, with all of the money raised going directly to Officer Rivers.
Just a great group of people that support us, and it encourages us to let us know that they do support us like they do.
Rivers says he isn't back to work yet, but hopes to return to the job soon. Reporting from Oxford, Erica Murphy, 11Alive News.
Summertime and the living is easy, or is it not? After the break, we'll take a look at the best ways for protecting your skin from getting sunburned.
With the power and speed to chase stronger storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge. Fighting social inequality is on all of us. That's why 11Alive is committed to sharing diverse perspectives, exposing injustice, and finding solutions. Voices for Equality, sponsored by Georgia Power and our other partners.
The 11Alive Storm Trackers. It's how you see weather happening now across Metro Atlanta.
These severe storms are now closing in.
We could be talking about damaging winds, hail, and
how you can plan ahead by knowing what's coming overhead.
Heavy storms are rolling in.
Expect pop-up thunderstorms and rain all day long.
And how you'll be weather ready wherever you are.
We expect at any moment a tornado warning could be issued.
The 11Alive Storm Trackers. It's how you'll be prepared and stay safe. 11Alive Morning News.
We began with breaking news this morning.
Is where you know what's happening now.
11Alive is live on the scene.
Where you can confidently plan ahead.
This severe weather is intensifying.
By knowing what's coming overhead. And we're Atlanta's traffic expert.
We've seen delays almost 30 minutes worth of drive.
Helps you get there on time. Every time. 11Alive Morning News is where you start the day prepared. Watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
If you see breaking news or severe weather near you, snap it and share it using Near Me on the 11Alive News app. Want to verify if something's true or false? Record your question and send it. Download the 11Alive News app to use Near Me.
11Alive News at 11 p.m. is where you find out what's happening now across Metro Atlanta.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Cobb County, where a neighborhood is now...
Where you stay a step ahead of severe weather.
Our storm risk has now been upgraded to a...
And the only place where you can verify fact versus fiction.
11Alive can verify that claim is false.
11Alive News at 11 p.m. Where you end the day ready to take on tomorrow.
Weather can't run from the 11Alive Thunder Truck. A mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge. Fighting social inequality is on all of us. That's why 11Alive is committed.
In the weeks ahead, it won't be long until classrooms are full of young people, but today those students and even their parents took in some pre-semester fun. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office worked to outfit as many children as possible during its second annual Give to School giveaway. This was at the Carver Family YMCA on Pryor Road. Any students who came out today got a backpack full of supplies for the upcoming school year. This event was also meant to be a way for the Sheriff's Office to try to bridge the gap between law enforcement and those they serve. Meanwhile, Chase Bank wanted to make sure that students and parents were smart with their pocketbooks going into the school year. Today, they hosted some financial health workshops at the branch office on Georgia Avenue Southeast. Members of Chase shared the importance of budgeting and smart spending in the way back to school. Even members of the Hawks flight crew and Harry the Hawk on hand for all of the hijinks. We're getting you and your family ready for school. To find out when your district is heading back, just text the word school to the number on your screen. We will send you the full list right to your phone. A lot of hot weather for us coming up, and we are trying to find ways to beat the heat and not catch too much sunburn. Brendan Lewis with our Verify team looks into the difference between wearing clothes that say they offer sun protection and simply putting sunscreen on your skin.
You already know it's important to lather up on sunscreen, but what about clothing claiming to also help protect you from the sun's damaging ultraviolet rays? One Verify viewer saw labels saying it has a UPF, or ultraviolet protection factor, and texted us to see if this means the same thing as SPF, which is used to measure sunscreen's effectiveness. So, let's verify. Is there a difference between SPF and UPF? Our sources are the Skin Cancer Foundation, the American Academy of Dermatology, and Dr. Adam Friedman, Chair of Dermatology at George Washington University School of Medicine and Health Sciences. SPF and UPF can help you determine how effective a product is at protecting you from the sun. SPF measures time, or how long sunscreen works at blocking the sun, and UPF measures how much of the sun's rays are blocked by a fabric. For example, under ideal conditions, an SPF 30 sunscreen will help keep your skin from burning 30 times longer than it would without any sunscreen. An article of clothing with a UPF of 30 means the fabric blocks around 97% of the sun's rays from reaching your skin. Our sources recommend using at least an SPF 30 sunscreen and UPF 30 clothing.
There's no one way to fully protect yourself from the sun. I think you want to take a combination approach. So that includes using sunscreen SPF 30 or higher and clothing to protect the exposed areas.
So, yes, there is a difference between SPF and UPF. All fabric has some sort of protection from the sun, even if it doesn't have a UPF rating. And in general, dark or brightly colored clothing is more effective. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
All right, on to the weather. Meteorologist Nicole Hartford is here. I love living in North Georgia. I have for 40 years. It has been a great gift and pleasure of my life, except the middle of July into August. Mixed feelings.
It's about the time of year where I curse the sun every day and wonder why we have to put up with this heat. I mean, it's hot out there, and the humidity lately has really not been helping. That humidity in the air, the mugginess, that's what's leading to a few of our isolated showers and storms. For most of us, this has not turned out to be much of anything so far. Rainfall wise, most of that rain is off towards our east right now, where we do actually have a severe thunderstorm warning just outside of our area. Although we're dry dry right now, we still have that chance to see some further development as the evening progresses. So we're not quite in the clear when it comes to that rainfall potential just yet. There is a cold front moving across the southeastern United States that's producing a good deal of rainfall, prompting some severe thunderstorm warnings and even a tornado warning into North Carolina. And as this cold front comes through and ahead of it, we'll keep that chance for rain in the forecast through the next couple hours. It also comes with the risk for severe weather, albeit a very low one in our area. We've got a level 1 threat that extends through the metro Atlanta area and then up towards the north for some isolated storms that could produce gusty, potentially even damaging winds. And even those storms that are sub-severe are still going to bring very heavy rainfall as well as frequent lightning. But again, those of us that see these shower and storm development, it's not going to be very many. In fact, our forecast track only has a few more of these isolated showers and storms developing. Very isolated activity with about a 20 to maybe 30% chance for rainfall across North Georgia through the next couple hours. Once the sun sets, that rain will start to spread down towards the southeast. So by about midnight, we may still have a couple lingering showers, but most of the rain is out of our way and will clear down towards the southeast into tomorrow morning. So we'll wake up Sunday mainly dry and enjoy a nice sunny afternoon. Some clouds here and there, kind of a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Maybe still a couple spotty showers developing by Sunday afternoon, but similar today and even more so, most of us are going to end up staying dry on Sunday. Now, I mentioned that cold front. Don't get too excited about the word cold front because it is not going to drop our temperatures, but what it will do is bring down our humidity. It falls a little bit by tomorrow, but Monday and into Tuesday is when we'll really see some of that drier air to make our hot high temperatures, this heat, at least a little bit more bearable, and this goes into Wednesday as well. Now, the downside of the lower humidity is that drier air actually cools and heats a lot more effectively than it does when we have more moisture in the air, and that means temperatures are going to get even hotter as we move into this upcoming week. So tomorrow we'll still stay close to our seasonal averages. We're talking low 90s, right around 92 degrees in Atlanta, but look what happens to those highs as we move into midweek. We're talking mid to even upper 90s. In fact, by Wednesday and Thursday, there could be some spots that get very close to the triple digits. Now, this doesn't quite put us into record territory. The records are all at or above 100 through this upcoming week, but we're going to be very close to those records. In addition to that, we're also watching this plume of wildfire smoke that's going to be coming down across the continental U.S., potentially moving into North Georgia as early as tomorrow, with some higher concentrations expected by Monday. For most of us, you won't notice much more than maybe a little bit of a haze on the horizon, but for those that are really sensitive to air quality or to smoke in the air, you may want to try and limit your time outdoors both Sunday and Monday. Our rain re-enters the forecast by the end of the week as humidity climbs, and that will bring a little bit of relief, but highs are still in the low 90s as we move into next weekend.